Hello, Aries and Aries Rising. Welcome to your January 2016. I had to think for a second reading. And thank you for your patience this month. I think sometimes people don't realize there's a lot of time and preparation. I actually sit down, think about which decks I want to use, how I want to approach it each month. I'm going to go ahead and keep what I had last month, which seemed to be well received, which was basically taking a channeled message, using the normal catalyst card, and then using Health, Wealth, Love, and Destiny. Mostly I'm keeping it intact because it's not broken and people like it, and also because I have to try something brand new this month, which is to look at the year in advance. And that's why it's taking longer. So I have to try to fit this in with everything else. So just thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. And I was also just enjoying some time off. So I hope you were as well. All right, let's get straight to your reading. Before I shuffle, I did go ahead and do automatic writing. And in case people wonder what automatic writing is, it's basically you sort of close your eyes, you allow a message to come to you, the first word that comes to your mind, you write down. I tried to use a darker pen for you guys this month as well. So replenish or replenishment, replenishing, add whatever suffix you want. But this is a month where you're going to take whatever reserves you have released, extinguished, or kind of like otherwise not paid attention to, and start to work on replenishing it. So it's much like nourishing. I want you to feed, to allow things to grow, but it has to happen with your own effort, basically. So this is a very much a verb, and that's why I kind of left it as that. I want you guys to physically, mentally, spiritually start to replenish this month. So that's the channeled message that came to you. And now the rest we'll look at what comes through cards. Let's go ahead and start with your catalyst, which is going to show what connects everything, maybe even what allows that replenishing to happen. And I think I have all new Oracle decks for you this month, which is exciting. I'll be using the Earth Magic ones for the year overview that's coming later. And by the way, I'm going to do the videos for your year separately because I realize people might want to look at them after January. So just an aside, that'll be a separate upload, which is why it's taking me a long time. It's 24 videos this month. So, okay. So again, catalyst is flow, which means allowing things to happen without getting in the way of them. Replenishing means working to take anything that is either depleted or you haven't been paying attention to and focus the energy there. So allowing things to sort of happen and then paying attention to other things that need your time and effort. It's very much a prioritization month for you. So you have to really cognitively take apart things and think, okay, this seems to be working. I'm going to start to focus on this. I'm not going to micromanage every piece of my life this month. So I think it's the Six of Pentacles prioritization card, but basically I need you guys to do that. Weigh out what you want to work on and really think about what's going to get the highest return on your effort investment. Okay, now let's go into the reading for January. January is always an exciting month for me, and I think it doesn't matter which sign you are, because it's I love the idea of I think it's Roman mythology, but Janus, the idea of endings and beginnings, doors, two faces, being able to see the past and the future. So you have this nexus month now where you really can start to. December was the beginning of it, and I talked about that in my newsletter, and January is the continuation or the execution of it. So hopefully you'll be reading, or you'll be looking at this probably in December. If you haven't already started to give thought to what you want to do, what you like, this should be your time to sort of review and move past any stagnancy. And I already see some of these themes coming through in the cards. Okay, actually, you know what? This will be a clarified one because two wanted to come through. Okay, so your central card is, it's a milder version of the Three of Swords, but let's remember Three of Swords is a card where you'll probably be working through some difficulties in the beginning of January. This one is showing me that it's not as bad as the regular Three of Swords. So Particularly domestic issues might be pulling you back a little bit. And I'm paying special attention to resources because I think this is going to directly affect your success in work and in finance. So take care of whatever you need to around the house or the apartment. So if the rent is too much, look for a new place. If you've been putting off some sort of a repair, go ahead and do it now. Like repair, replenish. I think it's an important time to take care of all the little things so you start to heal, so everything is okay. But I'm actually paying attention to home. That can extend to loved ones, since the Three of Swords often is a heart with three swords in it. Pay attention to love issues and relationship issues with children, with parents, and I think it's more about that. And then also your resources, your time, how you're going to be able to spend the time. And if you're single, like me, then it's about figuring out how you want to divide your time for all your responsibilities and social activities, and also parents or family. It's a sort of a similar thing, but you just may not have children in the mix or a partner in the mix, but your time is still going to have to be divided. And so the dividing is key. And I really do think that if you overextend yourself, that's when the Three of Swords happens, which is heartache because you can't make it all, basically you can't make everyone happy. The good news is this is a new year and it's a fresh canvas, and I really like this illustration for Page of Cups, which is start to think about something that you love, you hold dear, and make time for it. The page, of course, being the lowest of the suits means that this probably won't be the highest priority, but it means make yourself a priority, make room for your heart, make room for things that bring passion and joy into your life. If you do that, then whatever it is that's taxing you around your domestic resources, your domestic responsibilities, they're going to be tempered a little bit and easier to deal with. You matter in the equation is what it's saying. The sort of deep past, so I would say the past couple months leading up to this, and also things that you want to be aware of as you're moving into January, are not to get exhausted, because I see a lot of you have been working really hard. Five of Wands is about sometimes working so hard that you lose track of the the progress that you've made. What I like about this particular illustration, you'll notice that a lot of the difficult cards in this deck are subdued. So I picked it for you for a reason, Aries. There must be a kinder sort of energy coming through for you for January, so embrace it. Five of Wands here is showing me it's a good time to take a step back in partnerships. So if you're in a brainstorming session at work, if you're recently engaged at home, if your new neighbor moved in and you're trying to sort of figure out how to get along, this means, I rarely would say this, but I would say in matters where there's groups, you want to kind of pull back just a little bit. You want to take your fire energy and mute it a little bit so that other people can shine. And then I have a feeling they're going to come to you when they realize they need the help. So particularly for those of you that are working or studying at school, what you want to do is wait for people to give you a cue and say, now is the time that I need your help. I'm open to your input at this point. So that's basically it. Wait for your cue to be receptive, or to be received rather. So you need to be more open, more receiving, and I think it will be okay. What I want you to focus on as the month begins, it's a great thing to look at here, is the Wheel of the Year, Wheel of Fortune, basically. And I want you to, if you haven't already started to look at the next 10 to 12 months, October seems to be pivotal for you, so start to focus out to October. But start to think about, between now and October, what's important for you, what your plans are. Particularly look at your money, because I think this could be a year to turn the corner for some of you. If you're already doing well, then continued growth and prosperity will happen should happen in the financial sector. If you haven't been, this is about change, and it's about I really think between now and October, paying special attention to the pumpkin here. But and you'll see this is a great illustration. It's showing all of the sort of events happening through the year. But this, much like I think the world illustrated in here, shows seasons. And so you're going to have to go through a few seasons here to kind of get where you want to fiscally, but I don't feel like you have to wait more than the full year. So that's good news. For some of you, Okay, your crowning card, I should pull it down for a second so you can see the spread. The crowning card for you is the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is a perceived sort of lack of power, a lack of vision, and I hate to say it, the message with this one is don't make things worse than they actually are. Don't be a drama king or queen. It's saying take a step back and really just get a sense of your surroundings. The key thing with Eight of Swords, and I like this illustration here, is that the person doesn't realize where they're at. Bird's eye view, how much they've done, what's left to do. It's sort of like the moment is the worst or best ever. It's sort of a very polarized card, and it's a very emotionally charged card. So because this is your crowning card, what I want you to do, we talked about muting your fire a little bit. I rarely would say that, but I would say in moments of extreme joy and happiness, pull back just a second, take a deep breath, see if this is everything that you expected it to be, or if you're sort of reacting on emotion, and then I think you're going to be better. About 3/4 of the way through the month, you're going to be feeling a little bit of I want to say it's like a shift. Things are not going the way you want. This is a muted version of the Hanged Man. So basically, I do see that you will not be stuck in this for a long time. It might just be a week. So this is where I think these two cards play in. You could get, it's like a roadblock. Somebody could come and say, if you're trying to put money down on a house, the contract, there's something unseen and you're going to have to wait a couple of weeks. At work, if you've been waiting for, advancement, you'll find out that, there's more things that you have to do to get to the next step. Don't give up. That's the main thing. This is just a temporary fork in the road. And if you don't kind of like go crazy, then you're going to be in a much better place. Because remember, the overall energy starting the month off is prosperity. So these other things are just tests. They're just things that are trying to kind of like pull and tug at you and see if you're ready for what's coming. The Fool is, actually, I'm sorry, this is a different illustration here. This would be the Magician. I hate it sometimes when they change all of this. They call it the Witch here, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, it's the Magician. The Magician is all about finding your power and doing something that you can basically bring energy to, that's going to kind of fuel your abundance that I saw coming in. For group activities, again, it's showing more of a chemistry in the group. So allowing everybody, like I said, to shine. But with the Magician can kind of balance a lot of things at once. So I think there's going to be more required of you than usual in January. You might be asked to step outside of your comfort zone. If you're a creative person, you might be asked to do some project management if you're at work. If you're a dad, you might be asked to be a little bit more maternal at home. If you're, let's just say if you're very independent, this might be a month where you need to ask for help. So what I see with this particular Magician is, and particularly because I see this illustration here, it's about putting together all the pieces and allowing them to mix the right way. So be okay with yourself stepping outside of a zone that is normally what you feel like it's your comfort, because you're going to be focusing on growing a skill that's going to make you more well-rounded. It's going to help you out and get you past this stumbling block that we saw earlier. High Priest showing me hopes and it's the environment card for you. So double whammy of sort of magic and manifestation towards the middle to end of the month. I really do think it's a good month for you to get stuff done. That's why I want you to prioritize in whatever's left of December, if you hear this in December, or if you get in the first week of January. Quickly think, like, what is it that I want to spend my time and energy on? Because your thoughts are then going to be very powerful. So I don't want you focusing on too many things and not getting anything done. If you could pick 2 or 3, I think you'd have a really prosperous start of the new year. In your hopes and fears, this is a good one to have in the fear area because you can release it and move past it. It's the 5 of Cups. It's reversed, which is basically encouraging you to look at the positive aspects. 5 of Cups is often illustrated with a couple of cups spilled, and you can't see them as easily in this illustration. Actually, yeah, this one you'll see that there are some here that are saved, and she's actually emptying a couple. Let's just see whatever had to leave your, whether it's money, resources, people, relationships. Looks like you had a deciding role in it, and so just allow it to move out. And don't spend too much time, because in this particular deck, you have a lot more to be grateful for, and you have less that you've lost. So that's not always the case. With it reversed and with this illustration, I see growth and a path of independence in the future for you. So things may seem barren now. I actually like this illustration because it's sort of season appropriate. A lot of people, at least in North America, are going through winter, and what that means is a period where you can be fooled and think that things are dead or not working, when in fact they're just gaining energy and ready to blossom. So that's why I want you to think 10 months out, because at that point that's going to be sort of your harvest time. Again, more with North American seasons here than anything, but it still works for anybody that's listening to this. Think of now being time to plant the seeds, to fix things that haven't been fixed, to start to replenish or fertilize other things in your life that have been neglected, and then you'll see growth over the next 10 months. So the final cards, which there are two of them, the first one is King of Swords. And King of Swords is all about execution, communication, and delivery. And it's also, of course, an air sign that could be coming into your life. And what I see in relation to that is we have the Nature card here, which is in this deck, believe it or not, the Devil. So always interesting to see how different decks illustrate things. So what this is telling me is don't give in to hasty sort of like communications. A lot of times the first thing we want to say or do, we'll just go with it without thinking. I talked to you earlier about bird's eye view. I want you to avoid the this is like a knee-jerk reaction is what I'm getting from the Nature card. It's human nature, nature of the ego, that sort of animal nature that pops in and overcomes and overshadows this really good communication and ability to manage and execute that we all have. So that's why this month I want you to just think twice. I'm not asking you to like turn out your fire, because that's one of the best things that you have, but I'm saying think before you sort of go all out. Easier said than done, I know, but thankfully this card was the warning card. It was basically over top of the King of Swords. So it's just telling me caution when it comes to communication, and also temperance and balance when it comes to your moods and your emotions, because this is in the hopes and fears area. Otherwise, you've got a lot of power and ability to bring things through. You have one potential sort of hiccup, but otherwise I see you in a very good zone of release and manifestation for January, which is great. Please, please, please just try not to get carried away with your emotions this month, okay? Now let's go for the extended health, wealth, love, and destiny, and I'll continue to kind of tie them into the Catalyst card. So for your health card, we'll be using a new deck this month. Love it. Okay, so as we saw with the Magician and with the High Priest, this is a great, and also even with the King of Swords here, this is a great month for creativity. And I feel like the sky's the limit here. Love the cosmos, and I've been telling you to kind of keep thinking big view, bird's eye. This is even bigger than bird's eye. This is like going 3 levels out and seeing like the entire world and how this fits in. So sometimes this situation here that seems like it's the end of the world, or this one where you think like, oh my God, I can't deal with one more roadblock. Yeah, you can. It's just a little bit. It's not that bad. I feel like everything will pass by February. So stay focused on the bigger picture and engage your creative center, because if you are allowing that creative flow to come through, then you're going to be able to capitalize on it And this is what's going to make you stand out of the group. Not your voice, not your actions, but really what you have to offer when you're called upon. But I do see a lot of ability to make money and also to just to be very productive. So that's great. Let's look at your wealth card for January and also kind of kicking off the new year. So your wealth card, what's going to help you be more prosperous, what's going to bring more abundance into your life is, like I said earlier, being peaceful, particularly when it comes to large groups. So I want you to be the peacekeeper, peacemaker, or playing more of the role of like an air sign, like a Libra or something, where you're balancing it out and thinking before acting. And basically, one great thing about this, basically, it says, I'm being love and I release all negative energy. So, and I like the mandalas too. These are great for clearing spaces. But I would say the negativity that's in your head, you have to let go of that this month. There were a couple warning signs that popped up. So this could actually be what this card is about. So if you can avoid being negative or being sort of like engaging yourself in arguments, conversations like that, you're going to be able to get further along in wealth and prosperity. Okay. Now for, we did health, wealth, love. So one thing I want you to look at for love is to really focus on your energy and how you're pushing that out to other people. So some people aren't aware of simple facial expression, body language, and also they don't take a lot of time to clear before entering something difficult. So I want you to meditate, and I also want you to think about how someone else would want to be treated, like how you would want to be treated in this situation. So Metatron is all about clearing the energy. You can use this Metatron cube in your meditations to sort of pull it over yourself and clear all of your chakras. But basically there's a need for general clearing here, and that's going to help all aspects of love and relationships for you. And now for your destiny card. Deep freeze. What this is telling me is a lot is going to be going on for you this winter. And you may be facing challenges where people are putting up boundaries for you. I keep seeing this coming through. And what you want to be doing here is, instead of putting more negative energy, which will just turn them off, it really is going back to your wealth card, which is about being peaceful, warming people up to your idea, because that's what's going to end the sort of, again, some people just aren't going to be receptive. So you're going to have to work on that. You'll have to clear your energy. You'll have to be the peacekeeper. And then when it comes to health, because this was an interesting health card, it's about mental health and about focusing instead of on what can't be done, on what can be done. That's what the creativity is about. Okay, so overall, your theme is about replenishment and allowing natural things to flow, not blocking some of the positive aspects that are coming in, and then just not getting tied up too much in any of the roadblocks that might come your way. Otherwise, I find it's a very good month for you guys. I'm going to list the 2016 Aries year at a glance video separately, so take a look at my channel page. And I might put a link in the not in the comment section, but right underneath the video. Also, if you'd ever like a more detailed, personalized reading, remember these are general for the sign, so I try to cover as many aspects as I can. Sometimes I get complaints like, focus more on money, focus more on relationships. Well, that's what a personal reading is about. I channel what should be coming through for the sign, and I try to hit on health, wealth, love, and destiny. And if it doesn't sort of resonate, or if you need something more, then reach out to me. I'll put a link to how to book for like a regular session. And you can also, if you want to just keep up to date with what's going on here and service-wide, you can look at my Facebook page, my newsletter, and of course you can subscribe here. Anyway, I hope you had a fantastic Christmas, a Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or whatever sort of solstice or holiday that you celebrated, and I wish you all a very prosperous new year. Thank you so much.